Hi, friends. So, this week it's time for another ugly thrift flip. This is a series where I take the ugliest items that I can find from thrift stores and try to make them over into something cute. Sometimes I succeed. This episode, I have this penguin bank. It's a bank. Obviously, this was something that probably came from one of those paint your own pottery places, so I'm not going to rip on it too hard. I mean, it probably was painted by a kid. But since I found it at the Goodwill, they obviously didn't want it, so I don't feel bad making it over. And I have an idea. But first, while I have you held hostage in anticipation, I have a life-altering update. Just kidding. This will alter 0 lives, but it is fun. My channel logo has changed. If you saw the video where I designed some new ideas for a logo and everyone voted almost a year ago, no, I didn't forget about that. I enlisted someone to turn the winning design into a digital logo for me, and I got ghosted. So I'm going to teach myself how to do it, and I'm slow. But anyway, that's not the update. The update is that a subscriber named Clowny Cake sent me her version of one of the logo options to use for a while. She's super talented, so go check her out on Instagram and enjoy this logo until I get my butt in gear. But let's get back to the makeover. Remember the first ugly thrift flip and how it came with a friend? This one also has a +1.
Excuse me? Where did you come from?
The bottom of this bank has a plug thing, and I need to check and make sure that there's not an infestation living in it, but I'm so scared to open this. Okay, alright. Hello? Any bugs in there? Alright, I don't see anything. Whew. So let's see what we're working with. First, we have this little purple penguin guy on top. The littlest man. He's obviously having the most fun. He's ready to fly right off. I think usually people at the top of the pyramid are the happiest, because they have a bunch of bodies to break their fall. Then we have this one in the middle. And the face is kind of ugh, this guy's sitting on my head. And he's heavy. Then, on the bottom, we have this big green guy. I'm sure he really loves having 2 penguins standing on his back. And in this position, he kind of reminds me of Puddles. I mean, this isn't going to be Puddles, but maybe he's Puddles' brother. Let's get to work by first getting this sticker off. Work with me, Goodwill tag. You can do it. I believe in you. Okay, now this is ceramic, which means it's got a glaze on it, and the paint is going to struggle to stick to it. Last time I painted a ceramic, a bunch of you in the comments were like,
"You should have sanded it. Ugh, Rose, just sand it."
Listen, I have tried sanding ceramic, and it does not work. But just so you can see that I tried, I will sand it on camera. This is a medium coarse sanding block. Nothing. And this is my coarsest sanding stick. It's literally doing nothing. See, there's one teeny tiny less glossy area. Now, regular sandpaper does nothing, but there was one comment mentioning diamond sanding paper. So I got this. I found this in the floor installation section at Home Depot. So let's see if this is better.
Terrifying.
Oh, God, that noise was awful. Okay, well, it definitely is working better. It's not perfect because I can't get into all the little nooks and crannies, but it is at least roughing it up enough that the paint should stick. There might be better, smaller things in this block, but I couldn't find it in town. I mean, I looked at 3 different stores before I even found this. So when it's all sanded and cleaned, I got 80% of the shine off, which is at least better than the last one I did. So now it's time for a coat of gesso, or 2. Now, if you're wondering why I keep doing these ceramic pieces that are kind of hard to make over, it's because I can't find anything else. If you want me to make over something not ceramic, find me something really ugly. Also, this thing is not the easiest to hold on to without getting gesso everywhere. Okay, well, that works, I guess. Yes, it's a lint roller. While that dries, I'm going to mix up some paint. I had a really important reason in my head why I decided to record these colors and not the others, but I forgot what it was. So enjoy me refreshing some old gross paint by dumping a bunch of new white paint into it. Alright, now after 2 coats of gesso, you can see a few places where the gesso didn't really want to stick, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just be sort of gentle with it. First, I'm going to start with the ugliest color chosen for a cutesy project. It's called Parchment. And we're just going to go all over this guy. So, my idea for this stack of penguins is that they're a little family dressed up for Halloween. Because Halloween is coming up and it's one of my favorite holidays. This guy is the daddy penguin. And I found a better stand to hold this for now. Anyway, daddy penguin is going to be a mummy. Hence the boring color. The daddy's gonna be a mummy. Now I need some wraps of mummy gauze on him. I'm painting some really loose guidelines on it in a neutral gray, and I'm being maybe a little more freewheeling with these lines because I plan to go back in and add some shadows and touch them up. The wraps aren't gonna cover all of Daddy Penguin because this is a homemade costume, and Daddy didn't really want to participate that much anyway. Now that definitely needs some cleaning up, so I'm going to go back in and work in small sections, partly so that I don't need to constantly turn the piece, but also so I can keep track of what is going to be gauze and what is going to be penguin body. Now what I'm doing is taking this sort of tan color called unbleached titanium, and I'm adding a bit of shadow to the outsides of each strip and going over the gray line to even out the line weight. Then I went back in with that parchment color while everything was still wet to blend the shadows out. Last, I used the gray to touch up anywhere that I covered up the line a bit too much. My original vision for this was very cartoony with blocky shadows, so don't ask me why I spent all this time blending out these wraps, especially when they don't even look particularly realistic looking. And I'm not even sure that you can see any of what I did. But I started it, so I'm gonna finish. Then I need to paint the daddy penguin's body blue, which also means actually focusing on what I'm doing so that I paint the correct areas blue. I'm using a teeny tiny brush because I really am trying to avoid touch-ups as much as possible. I'm still gonna end up doing them here and there, but this is just cutting down on them. Someone once said it drove them nuts that I used a tiny brush for the whole thing, but this is why. I'll paint his big ol' feet a yellowy orange, and give his face a coat of white paint, and do some of those touch-ups I was talking about. Then, because I have a too much gene, I'm adding the lightest shadow of darker orange on the webbing of his feet. I'll paint his beak in orange, and me and this camera are still fighting over it focusing. I've tried everything that I can think of. I think we need counseling or something. I'm going to struggle to paint his eyes black, following the indented line, which I swear sometimes actually makes things harder. And last, I'm going to add some rosy cheeks to him. Next, for this mama penguin, we're going to start with a coat of white on her belly, her face, and her back. I need an actually pretty small area of white, but I don't want to paint over the top of other colors. And I'm going to put down some wax paper to protect the already painted parts of this from scratching off. The paint does actually seem like it's sticking pretty well, but better safe than sorry. On Mama Penguin, I'm going to map out a really simple outline of some ribs, because she's going to be a skeleton. And I mean really simple. Very cartoony, very not accurate. And also very not even. I'll fix that in a little bit. Then I'm going to paint another one on her back. Then we're going to turn this whole thing into a shirt. So I'll make a little swoopy swoop around here, and another swoopy swoop under the neck here. Make some sleeve holes around the arms. And here's the hard part where I got to figure out where the baby's butt ends and mama's shirt begins. Then I'm going to fill the whole thing in and try to make the ends look more like a bone instead of a block of wood, but I'm not really succeeding. I'm just kind of making it look worse. So then I went back in with some white to fix up those bones and make them look bonier. And yes, I know that that's not what ribs look like. They don't have ends like dog bones. I don't care. It looks better than what I did before. Then, after I finished fixing all of it up, I remembered that I didn't actually want to paint this black. I wanted to paint it a light gray so that it would match the rest of the pastel vibe. See, I even already mixed up a color for it. I have the paint ready to go, and I'm still an idiot and forgot what the heck I wanted to do. So I guess I'm going to be painting over this for a while, and I'll spare you watching it, and instead I'll just do a really god-awful transition like this. Alright, that's better. I definitely like that better. So then I'm going to paint Mama pink, being really careful, especially around the bottom here so that I don't need to touch up the daddy penguin. Oh, no. Every time. I'll just use a little bit of water to sort of dilute it and get most of it off, and then I'll paint over that again in a bit. Now, let's be so careful. And while I'm painting her, I have a death grip on Daddy Penguin here. They really need to invent a way to hold objects without actually touching them, like some kind of zero-gravity paint chamber. That sounds realistic, right? I'll add some little cheeks on Mama, and then paint in her feet, basically holding my breath while I get into all these little crevices, add her beak and her eyes, and she's done. So we can breathe now. Last, we're going to go for the baby penguin, and he is going to be a pumpkin. So we're going to start with this orange. And this is going to be another sort of shirt kind of costume thing. Okay, well that went way too low on the butt. I'm going to have to raise that. Then I'm going to paint some little pumpkin circle things. You know how they have like humps all around them? These aren't quite as messy as the mummy strips, but they are going to need some cleaning up. And I'm going to do a little subtle shading here by cleaning up the lines with the original pastel color and then adding just a tiny bit of darker orange and blending it out. Like I said, subtle. So subtle that I'm not even sure you can see it. I mean, I probably could make it more aggressive, but I'm trying to actually finish the project on time. I'll add a coat of white over the face and then jump back to painting in the feet, being really careful again since almost everything else is already painted. Also, I didn't add shading to Mama or Baby's feet because that is the top of their feet, and that was the bottom of Daddy's feet. It makes sense in my head. The baby penguin is going to be purple because Daddy is blue and Mama is pink, so when that mixes, you get purple. That's how genetics work, right? I'll fix up the back of that shirt, and then around his face, I can like barely see where the line is, so it's looking real crooked. I'm gonna have to touch that up off camera because it's so stressful. And then I'll add the rosy cheeks and then the eyes, which I finally, on the very last one, did an okay enough job that I didn't have to touch him up. Last, he needs the cutest little jack-o'-lantern face on his costume. Alright, all that's left is to varnish it, with like 8 coats of varnish. And the varnish did that weird thing again where it turned the light purple streaky and kind of pink. It's not terribly noticeable, but still, I hate it when it does that. But otherwise, it's so cute. I love them. This is exactly what I had in mind. Definitely a glow up. So, what do you think? Have a happy Halloween, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.